Well, Delicia Springs hasn't had an upgrade in a while, so we added a new pump and we just kind of cleaned up a little bit. And we've got a nice looking waterfall now. This pump is a little bit more powerful than the old one. And it puts out quite a bit of water. And those plants growing on the waterfall called Hearts and Kisses, that was just two small 6-inch plants last year, and in less than a year they've grown to pretty much cover the whole place. And we've added a couple of those down here on the west end of the pond. And next year maybe they'll be nice and big like that. The lilies are coming in good for this summer, and occasionally we get a nice bloom out of this one here. But it's not a real sunny day today, so it's not in bloom yet. Having recently visited the bridge on the River Kwai, I decided it was time to renovate the bridge on the River Wye. This one was originally built to look rustic. I built it and didn't finish it or anything like that. Let it sit out with the elements so that it would have a rustic look, thinking that, let it sit out for several months, let the sun and rain, whatever, do its damage, and then I'll put a finish on it to protect it. Well, got distracted with work and everything else going on, so felt I really didn't have time to put it together and finish it off, so it just stayed like this for about 4 or 5 years. And I decided I'm motivated now to build another bridge, so I went down to the Home Depot and picked up some lumber. Alright, back from the Home Depot. I don't have a truck, so my little Neon here had to serve as a truck, and I had to rip the plywood I needed down into 18-inch wide sections so that I could fit it into the trunk here, drop the rear seat, get everything in there, and it's time to unload. Okay, we've unloaded the car. We ripped a couple of 8-foot by 4 by 8 by 3/4 plywood into some, there's some 18-inch sections so I could get it in the car. And that one I just put on top of the rest. Couldn't get the trunk closed, obviously. Got a bunch of 2x4s to build a frame, and this is for a smaller portion span of the bridge. And I didn't buy the boards that will be on top yet, because I knew I wouldn't fit them in my car. I'll probably pick those up tomorrow. And right now everything you see is rough, and we'll start assembling maybe tonight or tomorrow, depending on my mood later, if I want to work in the garage because it's kind of hot. Okay, we've measured off one piece of wood. We're going to start by cutting the frame here with the chop saw. Continue that with a bunch more. Okay, we're assembling the frame for the first portion of the bridge. This is a 4-foot span, and we're going to use a 9/64 bit to drill pilot holes. And then put it together using 3-inch drywall screws. And there's the first part of our frame. Okay, we're assembling the final frame for the final span of the bridge, and got a couple more drywall screws to put in. So we'll put those in right now. I already pre-cut everything for this. And now the frame is ready. We're going to skin it pretty soon. Okay, got one half of the skin prepared. You can see I put ribs in the frame, and this is a 2-foot by 8-foot, actually no, it's a 16-inch by 8-foot, 18-inch by 8-foot sheet of plywood. Here's the other sheet that's going to go on there, and the reason I'm doing this in 2 pieces is because this is not a truck, and I couldn't get a 4x8 sheet of plywood in the car, so I had to trim it down to size to make it fit. So we're going to attach this one with a few drywall screws, put the other one on, and then all 3 sections, and there's one span, the second span, and that'll be the 3rd span, will all be ready to go on the pond. And we'll do a little connector, we'll do some angling. This is not going to be a straight bridge, it's going to be 3 separate things for a couple reasons. One, the pond doesn't need a straight bridge. It's got little rivers that go through it, so we go one span, send the other one in another direction, the other one in another direction. Second, it's aesthetically pleasing, and third, for those of you that practice feng shui, it meets the requirements because it's not a straight line, it's a zigzag, so that the evil spirits cannot get across it because they get confused. So we'll continue in a bit. Okay, we got the second portion of the skin all laid out, ready to be fastened. So we pre-drilled holes for my drywall screws, and we're just going to fasten this on there.